Uniformed armed operatives of the Nigerian Air Force, NAF, stormed the head office of the Ikeja Electricity Distribution Company, IKEDC, on Thursday, March the 6th, in a fit of rage. Now, the Air Force High Command has waded into the ludicrous and humiliating action. The air officer commanding AOC Logistics Command, Air Vice Marshal Adeniran Ademoagun, has vowed to investigate the immoderate behavior and bring those responsible to justice. The Air Force deeply regrets the fiasco, even as he gave his word that such intemperance would never happen again.
Well,
we've been there before.
Yeah, I think we have to look at the many sides of this issue and then draw out certain conclusions.
Okay.
If you look at the fact that energy is key to economy and security, so Ikeja Electricity Company is performing a strategic role in the economic and security life of Nigerians. So it's performing an essential service. And I think that the same thing also applies to the people in the armed forces. So in a way, there is a link between the two of them. The roles that they perform, you know, each of them are very critical in terms of sustainable development in the country. And I think that we cannot run away from complaints about arbitrary attitude of people in the armed forces. In the same way, there are also Nigerians who complain about arbitrary attitude of certain corporate organizations.
Okay.
You know, of people, you know, extortion, of corporate humiliation, you know, of people who are being tortured. You know, maybe you don't have light, they just come to your house and remove the, you know, cut away the fire. You know, you pay to buy transformer. At the end of the day, the transformer, you know, turns out not to be your property, you know. So a lot of things have been happening that people are angry. However, for me, I'm a victim, you know. They came and removed my meter and said the thing got burnt. After
No. The man watching is wondering if indeed the meter got burnt.
Yes.
It did.
Yeah, it got burnt.
That one, I hope you are listening.
Yes.
I am.
So, but you know, they removed the meter and then took it away and said they were going to bring another one. Me that I used to spend about 30,000 naira. The first month, they brought a bill of 245,000. I had eyebrow prayer. And I recall my friend who had
estimated billing.
Yes, who had surge in his house, and the house got burnt. After the house got burnt for 3 months, they were still bringing light. The man developed hypertension.
Yeah.
A few months later, he died. He's my very good friend. So some of these problems are there. However,
man-made.
However, we must also realize that those companies also have their own challenges. Okay. They need to meet up with payment of their workers. They need to meet up working in a very hostile environment. They need to meet up in a way where, in an environment where people don't want to pay their bills. So whatever might have happened, there is no justification on earth for any organization, any individual to resort to illegitimate or constitutional means of
seeking redress.
Because if we all do that, that ends up with anarchy. When this thing happened to me, I went to their office in Alausa, and the man there, Okote, you know, he said, "Don't worry, we are going to look at this issue, and just becoming, we'll be talking to you and see what we are going to do." Oh yes. So, and I think that should be our attitude. I realize that the Air Force performs, you know, they claim they keep rockets, bombs, and there is implication for national security. I agree with them. But is that the only way we can explore to resolve this issue? Yeah. I've thought about this, and I think the Air Force should have done one thing. Go to the court. In one day, you can get ex parte motion. Yeah. That means you don't need to hear from the other side. And then enforce, you know, the court can give order to Ikeja Electricity that, look, go and restore, you know, the light so that you can continue to perform your function. But to now carry arms, go into these premises, begin to attack people, pregnant women, old women, workers, journalists. You know, the journalists, brutalizing them. This is quite unfortunate. It is barbaric. And I think it goes beyond the Air Force setting up because the Air Force cannot be a judge in its own case. There is a need for independent inquiry. They need to pay compensation to Ikeja Electricity. The people that were attacked, the journalists that were attacked, there must be compensation paid to them. And I think the only thing that we should do to expect is independent inquiry, not just the Air Force alone. Others should be involved, NEC, Ikeja Electricity, Civil Society, NBA, so that we can take a broader look about the whole issue.
Doctor, at a time like this, there's a delicate balance between what took place and the fact that IKEDC was being owed. You know, I don't know if you are reconciling.
No. It's just
the two sides.
It's the basic truth. Government is saying to us that it wants to stop subsidizing power.
Yeah.
Because even now it says it needs about 4 trillion to give to the distribution companies, pay those who are supplying this and that to bridge the gap, like what was happening.
Does this not, sorry, if I might drop this here, UCH Ibadan had a similar problem.
Yes.
You know, and for a critical institution like that.
Yes, critical, but at the same time, you shouldn't be owing.
Okay.
When Abuja Electricity Distribution Company put out an advert to say Aso Rock is owing, this is owing, this is owing, the president said, go and pay.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Because you have provision for these things in your budget. Even if you don't get it in full, there is something. Yes, there was an agreement with the Air Force to pay. After a while, the regularity of power dropped. It's everywhere. I'm on band A. I can tell you that in the last 1 week, we have hardly had light.
Yeah.
Do we all get up and go to IKEDC office?
Same here.
And beat them up?
Go and beat them up.
Do I know their office?
So when you are at that point, you must know that might can't be right. If I work in IKEDC and my boss calls me today that I should go into that place to go and fix whatever fault they have there and restore power, I won't go.
Okay.
Because they can get mad again and decide to attack those who have gone.
There could be hostility, yeah.
These guys appear to be uncontrollable. And what they did on Monday was pre-planned. I woke up in the morning and I saw a news report taking some kind of positioning. So when it happened, I expected it. Because somebody from that base spoke in that report and gave an inkling that something was coming.
Okay.
So it was pre-planned. And you can't, in that number, invade an office like that and tell me senior officers in that place didn't know.
I'm not aware.
Yeah.
They're aware. So who authorized it? And like you said, some people must pay for this.
Okay.
The way the Air Force goes about it will tell us whether they are serious or not about punishing these people.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell me you are setting up an internal probe and then you just allow them to work. Mm-hmm. That shouldn't be. Otherwise, we are going to go back to the era where they attack people at will. We recollect that even as a billionaire, they did it to Abiola.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
I remember, yeah.
No matter the situation, these bloody civilians, will pay your salary. We pay.
And by extension, we are your employer.
We are your employer. Yeah. So you must respect us.
Yeah.
And that is key. But also, to Ikeja Electric, they must learn how to deal with customers.
Yeah.
We are still paying them for this service they are rendering.
Yeah. Does any part of you tell you Nigerians don't like to pay bills?
Oh. Nigerians don't like to pay bills. And it's not a lot just in Nigeria.
Please listen. Yeah.
Yes,
why is it that people invented the idea of prepaid meter? Because it shows that all over the world, people want to cut corners.
Yeah.
And that is why the best way you can do it is to say, okay, we give you prepaid meter so that you can pay as you
You supply yourself the light.
Supply yourself, just like the phone that we are using.
Yeah.
So the issue now is to make it to be efficient, to make sure that more people have access to, to prepaid meter. And also they talk about bypass. They also made that allegation. But we also discovered that the providers also need to train their workers. Because hardly can you have a bypass without collaboration of internal people working with those companies. So I think that, people don't want to pay.
It's just like when people bridge oil pipelines.
Yeah.
You cannot do it as an outsider.
If we all refuse to pay our bills, how did you want Ikeja Electricity Company to survive?
And for that
so
matter,
at the end of the
all
day,
this goes.
so people, you can't be owing about billions and then you don't want to pay. Then army is doing the same thing, police is doing the same thing. Then what example are you setting up for the public? If the government is not paying,
it's
a very bad example. Very bad example.
Yeah.
So that's why I think that it's not just setting up, an inquiry about what has happened. The government must take a broader look about energy provision.
But like, as Dr. said, don't you trust what the AOC, NAF commander is saying? Air Vice President.
Will Ikeja Electricity be invited to be part of that team? Will NEC be there? Will NBA be there? This is an internal probe, and it can never be.
Our business is to give context to these stories.
No, what
so we are setting agenda.
What they are doing is okay, but it is not enough. In fact, my own group, we are presenting a letter to the National Assembly and to the President. They must set up an independent inquiry. Therefore, let them be doing their own. But Ikeja Electricity must be there. Discos must be there. NBA must be there. Those that were tagged, those workers in that company must also be invited to come and state their own
journalists
case. Journalists must be there. Those who are brutalized, so that we have a broader understanding. Because at the end of the day, we need to go beyond the attack itself. Can we have a mechanism where in future, institutions like Army, Air Force can begin to provide their own electricity, like it is done in other countries? So it's a broader thing. It's not just about the attack alone. We must ensure this thing does not happen again. Because if they go, if they escape, police will do the same thing. Maybe the next time it will be OPC.
Doctor, in taking this home, therefore, because the time is tight, an energy crisis at this point is a no-no.
No, it is a no-no. But then, let me also speak on the fact that Nigerians love to pay bills where we get the services.
Okay.
Let me use a quick example.
Not necessarily countering what he said.
No, I'm not countering it. I'm only saying that when we see the services, we pay. Because I'm getting value for my money. For instance, some people leave this country and they go abroad for their holiday. And at the end of the day, they pay in thousands for that holiday.
All right.
Where here in Nigeria, we have some outfits that claim to be tourist centers. Those who pay millions to go abroad won't go there. Though they are cheaper. Because what do you get from there? I just came from Elegushi Beach now. They said they have privatized. And you can't see what they are collecting money for.
All right.
So IKEDC must learn, and other discos too, must learn to give us value
for money.
When they give us value for money, then they can justifiably come in and request for payment. In fact, they won't a lot of times.
Otherwise, the statement you made earlier is relevant here. Provide the services, Nigeria would pay. Nigerians would pay.